What's happening, YouTube? Links Forte here, bringing you my third battle of the National Pokeball League NPL Minors qualification tournament. And basically, if I win this battle, I move on to, I think it's a Sweet 16. If I lose this battle, I need the fourth person in the group to basically lose at a bigger margin than I, have. Right now, I'm sitting at 1-1 with a positive 2 or 3. I think it's a positive. Let me think. I won my first battle 4-0, so I'm sitting at a positive 2 differential. And if I win this battle, I'm basically on to the Sweet 16. If I lose, I need other things to happen for me to get in. But basically, I looked at it, and even if I were to lose 6-0, I couldn't finish any worse than third in my group. But I really kind of wanted to win, but going into it, my hopes weren't so high, just because I had the hardest time prepping for this team. It's a team that can do a multitude of things. Like, I've seen special and physical Keldeos. Thunderous T can be Choice Specs, Life Orb, Dual Dance. Absol most of the time runs Fire Blast along with or Ice Beam. I know it runs Iron Tail, and he probably has that for my Sylveon. Clefable, I don't know if it's going to be Unaware or Magic Guard. And then Jirachi, the multitude of things it can run. So I really wasn't the most hype going into this match. I was just trying to keep the loss margin down as low as possible, basically, is what I was thinking going into this battle. And once again, I don't have a dedicated lead, and I have to be careful just clicking Thunderbolt with Mega Magnetric, because that Thunderous T can just heal off any damage I've done to it previously. But I am going to lead off with my Mega Magnetric, and he decides to lead off with his Keldeo. So I'm just going to get off the Mega Evolution here as he switches into a Snorlax, which is a good play, because I'm pretty sure he was expecting or predicting me to, over predict and him to go into Thunders, but I didn't think he would do it that early in the battle, and he made a really good play. This was another thing, like, after, watching some of my opponent Aster's videos, this guy is really smart. He's really good at battling. For him to bring in Snorlax, and not only to bring a Snorlax with Ice Beam, for it to do as much as it did, I'm pretty sure this Gliscor is primarily special defensive. I'll have to go back and double check my spread, but for him to bring in a Snorlax that does over 50% with an Ice Beam, genius. I just had to stop and point that out. It was genius. But Gliscor is going to come up, and I just decided I need to get up my rocks just to stop any shenanigans, because I don't see a Defogger on his team, no Rapid Spinner. So I wanted to make sure those are up. I'm going to go into Suicune here. This is a, Crocoon, Calm Mind, Rest. It doesn't have Sleep Talk, instead it has Ice Beam and Scald. But I just wanted to do that, and I decided to just click Scald here on this Jirachi, not knowing what set it is. I kind of wanted to figure out what it was. And there's the Stealth Rock set. So it's Stealth Rock leftovers. He's going to go for the U-turn there. And me not knowing Jirachi's set up front was kind of scary, just because I'm not sure what it wanted to do. So he brings in Keldeo, and I'm kind of fearing Calm Mind. And once I see, what I was fearing with Keldeo was substitute Calm Mind, because I considered, when I was building the team, I considered bringing Extra Sensory. It would have still given me something to hit Thundurus, but it wouldn't give me anything to hit Thundurus hard enough, I didn't believe. So I decided to carry Ice Beam. And I calced this, and this is one of the few calcs I did early in the game. I calced it to see how much damage I should do to Keldeo. I was, with a +2, I should have done, I think it was like 26 to 29% or something like that. Either way, it would have broken a sub, which is why I went for the Scald there. And he shows me, not only did he show me Toxic, I only did 23%, which told me he had some special defense investment. Or maybe he was just like max HP, max special attack, I don't know. But either way, it kind of gave me some relief knowing that this Keldeo wasn't a primary attacker. But at the same time, I didn't want my Suicune being toxic because I knew I would need it for later. So I'm just going to switch out here, and I felt like Mega Man Electric was the thing I didn't need the most in this battle. Just because, you know, I didn't have Volt Switch on this Mega Man Electric. I had Magnet Rise. There was something on his team that I knew was just like a crazy Earthquaker. So I put Magnet Rise on it. But I'm just going to start clicking Thunderbolt. I want to see, like, I didn't want to predict Thundurus coming in. And this is when he brings it in, and I'm just thinking, this guy, he's playing me. Like I said, I wasn't the most interested, you know, when I started this battle, so I'm not trying to, you know, make some crazy prediction. So this is when I go for the HP Ice. You know, I'm thinking he's probably going to start setting up, and I really didn't want that to happen. And I knew a Thundurus could take an HP Ice, but at this point, I'm just thinking, I'm just going to do whatever I have to. And he shows me Whirlwind on Snorlax. I was thinking... At that point, I was thinking Snorlax was going to, like, HP, or not HP, I was thinking Snorlax was going to use Rest or something to get back to full health, or something like that, but he Whirlwind me out, which, it gave me an opportunity, because once I knew that Snorlax, you know, Snorlax saved my Mega Man Electric, which means I could use Mega Man Electric later as Death Fodder if I need to, and to me, it showed me that Snorlax wasn't a setup mon to stall me out or anything like that. His team, you know, with Keldeo having Toxic, it kind of made me think that maybe his team is somewhat stally, and then he brought in the other Pokemon to finish something off when necessary. But that wasn't the case, since Snorlax just, I mean, maybe he was trying to shuffle around with the Whirlwind, I don't know. But I was able to get rid of Snorlax. That was an HP Ground. Yeah, no, that wasn't an HP Ground. That was... trying to think what it was. Was it an HP Fire? It was something meant for, I don't remember if it was HP Ground. I don't remember what it was, but it was a hidden power meant for Jirachi. That's why I put it on Sylveon. And now he's going to bring in Clefable, and I'm thinking, okay, Clefable is going to Calm Mind up, because I saw he wasn't Magic Guard, so I knew he was unaware. Which means I needed to get rid of it if, you know, Suicune was going to do anything. And I just go for a Thunder Wave, just, you know, last ditch effort. I know I'm getting ready to go down. And he gets paralyzed, which I kind of want it, but I kind of want it for later. And this part is going to get a little stally. So this is just going to be a bunch of Hyper Voices. He Calm Minds up to go to +2 special attack, special defense. I'm going to speed this up here, because what this is going to be, it's just going to be a bunch of Hyper Voicing it in Moonlight. Because I can't allow him to get too high up, but at the same time, I'm waiting for that full para so I can just take it out clean. My Hyper Voices are doing about 36%, and there's the full para. I needed right there. And I'm just thinking, it was just too much. At that point, I was waiting for the possibility of a crit, because my philosophy on anything is, if you set up and you're sitting there stalling, at some point, the crit is going to happen. So I just played my odds. I have 16 Hyper Voices to play with. I just kept clicking it until a crit possibly happened, and there was a crit. It was the crit I needed. Otherwise, it was a battle I was going to lose unless he kept getting paralyzed over and over and over. And with the chance to be paralyzed, I think it got dropped. I know the speed reduction is now half instead of to 1/3. But I needed to keep Hyper Poison. I couldn't allow anything else to happen. So now he's going to bring in Jirachi, and this is where the tide of the battle turned. Or no, it's not here. Sorry, it's not here. I'm expecting him to go for an Iron Head here, so I just go into Suicune, and he shows me Wish. Now I know 3 of Jirachi's movesets. So at this point, he goes for a U-turn, and I think this is where I clicked Calm Mind, expecting Thundurus to come in, so I could take at least one. I know I could take at least one Thunderbolt from Thundurus. Either way, I knew I couldn't do anything to anything that came in, so there's no reason for me to click Scald. And I didn't want to predict anything with the Ice Beam, so I just clicked Calm Mind there. He goes for a Toxic. At that point, I'm thinking it's not necessary for me to really try to, try to beat anything one-on-one. I have Rest, and I can get rid of that Toxic. So, but then he shows me Taunt, and now we're getting into a Scald Fest. I get the Burn, which is counteracted by the Leftovers, since the burn damage got nerfed in this gen. So now we're just getting into a Scald battle, and I'm just thinking, okay, Suicune has to go down, and then I make my move. But then I changed my mind to what needs to happen is the taunt needs to wear off, because I want to predict him to go for another taunt. And then what I want to do is I want to swap out. So that's exactly what I do. The taunt ends, I swap out into Sylveon knowing I can take a hit, and I'm expecting him to taunt, which is exactly what he did. So now I am free to Hyper Voice anything. Jirachi is low enough to where 2 Hyper Voices will take it out, and that's the first thing he goes into. He goes into Jirachi. Or sorry, it wasn't low enough to where 2 Hyper Voices could take it out because I forgot about the leftovers. But I knew it would do enough damage because this is the Choice Spec Sylveon. And yes, I brought Choice Spec Sylveon to all 3 of my battles. Again, it was only meant for 2 battles. But seeing the damage on Jirachi, it kind of gave me a little bit of hope. Like, I don't know where that roll was because I hadn't calced anything. Like, I think the last time I calced something was when Suicune first went up against Keldeo, and I saw it had only done 23 when I was at +2. And so I'm just thinking, okay, how do I win this battle here? I'm expecting Jirachi to go for Iron Head. And then what I can do, because I'm not expecting Jirachi to be like max speed or anything. I'm expecting him to maybe have like some kind of bulk in it. Maybe not like too much bulk, just enough bulk to take a certain amount of hits. So what I could do is I can allow Sylveon to go down to an Iron Head, and then I can go into Darmanitan. And now what happens here, I don't know if it was, he was expecting me to make the switch. So he goes for a U-turn. And I just clicked Hyper Voice again, so he had to let something die at that point. That wasn't like me trying to predict. Again, I was expecting him to go for an Iron Head, which would allow me to bring something in after. But he went for the U-turn, and I just said, hey, this is the play I decided to make. Now, the other thing is, like I said, I had only seen 3 of Jirachi's moves. And it didn't hit me until after that turn that those 3 moves were U-turn, Wish, and Stealth Rocks. So he could have been carrying Iron Head, or he could have been carrying Ice Punch for Dragonite. At that point, my entire mentality changed. I opened up a calc, and I said, I have a shot to win this battle. I had just now taken the lead. I'm up 4-3. I got to make something happen. So he's going to go into his Absol, and I know this thing is going for Iron Tail. The way I played that last turn, he's probably thinking that I'm just going to let Sylveon go down. But Sylveon has a legit chance to just win this battle for me. Or, it can come in crucial later at some point and, take a hit, kill something, or it can be a sacrificial pawn. So I'm going to make the switch into Suicune, and this is where he Mega Evolves the Absol, and he's going to go for the Iron Tail. I wasn't expecting the miss. Had I left Sylveon in and got the miss, great. But I switched into Suicune, to do what I needed to do. And he goes for a Sucker Punch. It doesn't take me out, which allows me to get damage off. And it changes my entire plan once again. So now I'm going to go into Dragonite. No reason not to just click E-Speed. I'm Choice Bandit. That's going to take it out. And now the play is, what does he bring in? He brings in his Jirachi. And now I decide I'm going to go into Darmanitan. I don't know what he's going to use, but Darmanitan I figure will be the sacrificial pawn. Because what my thought process was, if he goes for Iron Head, then, Darmanitan takes a couple hits, it goes down. Then I bring him back in Dragonite. I could probably take one. As long as I don't get flinched, I can just click Outrage. And then Sylveon could come in against Thundurus after he took Dragonite out. And then I could take one hit and take it out. But he opts to go for the Wish. And remember when I said I didn't think he was speed invested? That's where it showed me once Darmanitan outsped him. Because Darmanitan is not Choice Scarf. Or at least I don't think this Darmanitan was Choice Scarf. I think this Darmanitan was Focus Sash. Kind of like the last battle, like it was supposed to be. But Darmanitan cleaned up with 2 Flare Blitzes. And we were able to get the W. Put us at 2-1, and we made it onto the Sweet 16, you guys. We got at least one more battle coming to us. This is Link's Forte. If you like the video, you want to see more content from me, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. See you guys in the Sweet 16. I'm out. Peace.